Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now to continue the lecture number 2, we are going to discuss what is information security basically is. Okay. So we can see 3 or 4 different kind of definitions over here on the slide. The first one is about the US code definition, which says it is as unauthorized access or use or disclosure or disruption or any modification, okay, or personal inspection, recording, or destruction. So the unauthorized access of information, and to defend that one, is a kind of information security. The second definition is about the ISO. Okay, ISO definition in 2005 they issued this definition, and it says that it's a kind of preservation of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. It is termed as like a CIA. C stands for confidentiality, I stands for integrity, and A for availability. So information security is defined as a preservation of confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information, or other properties such as it can be authenticity, accountability, non-repudiation, and reliability can also be involved over it. The third definition is given by NIST, National Institute of Security Technology. Information system security is a system characteristics and set of mechanisms. So they say that NIST says that this is a very popular information security organization, or this is a body which determines the security standard as well. So it says that it is a system characteristics, whether it's secure or not, or it is set of mechanisms, some rules, some implementations that span the system both logically and physically. So to secure a system logically and physically, that is termed as information security. 5 security goals are integrity, availability, confidentiality, accountability, and assurance. So we can call a system secure if it preserves integrity, availability, confidentiality, accountability, and assurance. So these are the 3 different kind of definition. The last one, it says that is a general term that can be used regardless of the form the data may take. So it says that it can be either electronic data or it can be physical data. Okay. Sometimes you have seen some official documents on it, they have written as a confidential. It's in a hard copies. Okay. So confidentiality can be in a physical form or it can be in a electronic form. How to preserve that one? It will be covered in coming lectures. So now we know that what is information security. So these 3 or 4 terms should be in your mind. The first is unauthorized access, second is preservation of confidentiality and integrity and availability, and the third one is the system characteristics. System by itself has the immunity, system by itself has the power or set of rules to implement on that one. So this is all over about the information security. We go to the next slide now. The next slide is about the term secure. What do you mean by the term secure? Secure means confidentiality, it means integrity, it means availability. Now we discuss these 3 different terms. The first one is confidentiality. As the word can tell you that any document which is not accessible by certain people and accessible for certain people, that term is called confidentiality. For example, they say that ensure that computer related assets are accessed only by authorized parties. I mean, those are the owners, those are the authorized to access the documents or any data, whether it is a video, or it's in images, or whether it is a text data, any kind of data or computer related data which can only be accessed by the authorized people. So that is a definition of confidentiality. The second one is integrity. Integrity is about like modification. Who can modify that data? Means as told you about the data in any image, video, and text. Okay, so who can modify the data? Assets can be modified only by authorized parties, authorized people, authorized software, authorized agents. Okay, or in authorized ways. Means authorized ways means by which way, by which computer you can access it. If you access anything, your organizational data from your home, it might not be allowed to you. If the same data, if you access from your office, that might be allowed to you. So to access the data from your home might not be allowed to you according to the organization policy, but the same information you can access from your office. So these are the different things which are which should be kept in mind. The next one is availability. Availability is about assets are accessible to authorized parties at appropriate times. You might have seen there are some website or some services they write 24/7. So it means the data is available 24 hours and 7 days of a week. Okay. So availability means assets are accessible to authorized parties at appropriate times. So for example, when I need the information, so it should be available. It should not be a denial of service. Sometimes you might see that in a crowded time, when you access some services, they don't respond to you. So it means the information is not available to you. Okay. So these three are very important things: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Extended properties and qualities. What are the different extended from the CIA? Before, the CIA was main core of information security, but now there are some more important thing with respect to information security. If you are studying that one, that is accountability. The requirement that action of an entity may be traced uniquely to that entity. So when you uniquely trace the person that who is accessing that information at a particular place, at a particular time, from a particular computer, from a particular IP addresses, and from by a particular port number. So if you can trace the person, if you can trace your employees, that is termed as accountability. Non-repudiation. Non-repudiation like a service that provides proof of integrity and origin of data. That who is using that one, who is the person who is using the information. Like for example, it comes under the signature. Okay. For example, whether the specific information comes from a specific person or not. So impersonation and the signatures comes under this one. Authenticity. Authenticity means like ensure that the data, transaction, communication, and document, whether it's a physical, electronic, are genuine. For example, whatever information, whatever audio, video, whatever the text you get from some person. So the data by itself should be authentic. In non-repudiation, the person should be authentic, and while in the authenticity, the data should be authentic. Here you can see CIA Triade. Okay, here you can see security, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These three things constitute your secureness, or the main crux of security. Secure computing system have all these three properties. A relationship between the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These three are interlinked via this diagram. Means some of the part overlaps. You can see over here some part of availability overlaps with confidentiality and also with integrity. Now we come to the privacy. What is the privacy? Privacy is different from country to country, from organization to organization, from culture to culture, and privacy is a very broad term, and people are doing research on that one as well. So what is the simple definition? So if there's a two-word definition that is called informational self-determination. So if you just make it very short, so you can say it's the informational self-determination. This means that you can get to control information about you. Means in a simple word, if I just say to you that privacy is just to share the things which you want with others. Okay, and the privacy is not to share the things which you don't want with others. Control what? So privacy controls who gets to see it, means what documents or what information or what data or what video or what image or what data text you can show to people, who gets to use it, who can use it, who can amend it, why they can use it, means what is the purpose for the use. For example, the hospital data, only the doctors can use it or the nurse can use it, the outsider cannot use it. Who they can give it to, for example, the hospital data or the private data, the patient data can be given to the research purpose only, not to the other people. So the privacy is of different level for the different people. Now we see the security versus privacy, means how the security and privacy both goes together. Are these two opposing words or they are supporting words? Let's see what is the difference between security and privacy. Uh, Security is about the practices and processes, means it's a set of processes and practices that are in place to ensure data is not being used or accessed by unauthorized individual or parties. Okay, so your data is secure and there is a protection. So if you don't want to use, if you don't want that your data can be used by other people without your permission, without your grants, okay, then this kind of thing is a security. Basically that is comes under the protection. Privacy is about the appropriate use of data. I mean, who can use it, which person is allowed to use the data and which person is not allowed to use the data. So that is the governance and use, means who governs the data, who holds the data, whether hospital holds the data, whether the government agency holds the data of, for example, the national database of the citizen, the hospital data, or like the records, the student records are private, their GPS is private. Okay, so who governs all these things and who can use it? Viewed very differently in different culture. Yeah, privacy is different in a different culture. Accordingly, some things can be some data or some pictures or some videos that can be considered as a private in one country, but in another country or another different culture it can be not considered as a private. You can see on Facebook some of the people, they can easily share their home pictures. Okay, but in the different countries they cannot share their home pictures or their personal pictures. Okay, go. Next is security is a necessity but not sufficient for addressing privacy. Yeah, so these two are a little bit different things. So security is mainly about the protection, while the privacy is about your personal choice. Example, an online advertising company that has never perfect security but shares information it tracks about consumer with third parties without your consent. Yeah, this can be a case. For example, if you provide your personal data to some company like Amazon.com or like eBay or like other like Alibaba.com or some other companies, okay, and they share your data, if they share your credit card, if they share your addresses, if they share your phone numbers, if they share your email, okay, without your consent, that is the privacy concern. We can see a few stories over here. So here you say where is the problem. You can see the program, where the problem is in the program or the physical or database or network, OS, administrative, social engineering, privacy, economics. So here you can see they say that research show that how MacBook webcams can spy on their user without warning. Okay, so Mac users should be very careful because there is some research on that their webcams can spy on their user. Okay, so those students who are using the Mac, but I think this report seems to be old, but now maybe they have updated the MacBook, because the MacBook, they don't want to lose their businesses. So I hope that there will be no such warnings now. Next one is about where is the problem. Here you can see hack Chrome OS, as you can grab 22.7 million. Yeah, for example, the Chrome operating system, if you can hack it, so you can get 2.7 million real. Okay, this is another one. Next one is about white hat hackers find 70,000 public records on healthcare.government via Google search. So Google search, by it means that there's a problem of privacy over here. Next is about Indian Railways website hacked by Pakistani hackers crew. Yeah, so since the Pakistani cyber force is very popular, because the first virus was invented by the Pakistani guys. Okay, so We will continue next lecture in the lecture 3.